Hello everyone, welcome to In the Hot Seat, Geekery Collective's topical show where every episode we find a subject in gaming that is pertinent, we break it down and we discuss it and what's important about it, what's bad about it, what can we do to improve it. I really appreciate you guys watching this first episode. I hope you can share it around, share it with your friends, or just talk about it, tell me what we can do better and what you don't like about it. That being said, let's get into things. The first topic of this show I want to talk about is this generation of consoles really dying or losing its identity. And it started with the PS4 Pro. Now, if you go back to last fall where this was announced, it was a really lukewarm response because the PS4 Pro was kind of a half-assed upgrade to the PlayStation, and it started fleshing out this idea that consoles are kind of morphing into just PCs where it's just about specs and it's just about better graphics and frame rates to people rather than about a simple plug into your TV box that plays these games that you can't get anywhere else. And this is really good and really dangerous in a way, and Scorpio has the potential to bridge the gap in a good way and in a very terrible way. Microsoft needs to really identify what they're doing with having games that play on PC and Xbox, because if we're spending $300 on an Xbox One, then a few years later $500 on a Scorpio, then this is becoming a PC problem, where every few years you got to update your graphics card, and it's just an ever-changing market, and that's not really what consoles are about. But having this large ecosystem of different consoles that do different things is really nice, and it lets a gamer be themselves and it lets them have their own ecosystem of gaming. And that's why I stick to consoles, is for this exact experience. Like I play Xbox for this shooter, these tight experiences with great controls and online capabilities, and I play PlayStation 4 for great exclusives and really unique games, and I play Nintendo for this accessibility that I can't get anywhere else. That's what these games do well, not graphical power. I think this began with, truthfully, the multiplayer gaming community, specifically the beginning of like the Counter-Strike, League of Legends era, where gaming became a competition somewhere down the line, when it was, for so many people, the same as going to the movies. It was a cultural, it was an artistic consuming experience for people. Gaming has now become a sport, and this has brought on this, my PC is stronger than yours, my PC is stronger than yours. How many frames can I pull on The Witcher 3? Look how my PC runs this game in 4K. That's great because PCs have been doing that for decades now. The thing is that consoles aren't a PC. Consoles aren't something that you take apart and you just keep adding stuff to it. Consoles are a box. You open it up, you plug it in, it plays these kind of games that you can't get anywhere else. That is important, and that's why I think companies like Nintendo are nailing all the right notes with the Switch. People are buying the Switch in numbers that Nintendo clearly had no idea was even going to happen. They are building a gaming community that's about a gaming console, and that's why the Switch is going to do so well, and they even doubled their numbers. Went from 8 million to 16 million units in a year. And this is a really big deal because Microsoft has made a very clear point that Scorpio is for a very hardcore audience, and I'm not really exactly sure what that audience wants. It sounds like they want a PC. If this is the starting point to maybe like an iPhone ecosystem where you can have an iPhone 5 and you can still be in the same ecosystem as somebody with an iPhone 7, that's fine. And honestly, I think that's really good. I think new consoles doing new things every couple years is okay, because that lets people breathe in this environment. That gives off the pressure of like, oh, now I gotta get rid of my Xbox 360. No, it means 5 years down the line, you're like, well, maybe it's time for a better system. Maybe it's time for a system that can do this. That's where this innovation needs to come, not just, well, look at this game running in 4K. Oh, I want my game to run in 4K. I mean, 4K TVs aren't even really selling like hotcakes right now. That's still a couple years away. So why we get console games is for a specific reason, not because we're winning a contest. Plain and simple, we as gamers don't buy consoles to compare it to other consoles. We buy them because we love the games that are on them. We love the experiences that they provide. And if a console can strictly be a box that you plug in and play, and it has this certain functionality that in these certain games that you buy this console for, that's a healthy market, and more exclusives, more third-party games, more reasons to buy a specific console is what we need, instead of more graphical updates and more raw power. There's no room to really innovate with that. It's just going to be kind of what we've been getting with games that are just a little bit better looking, a little bit more ambitious. The bottom line with this is that we're not making games to make new, fresh experiences. We're making games to outdo the last iteration. You know, we're making a Far Cry where this big open world, I mean, every Far Cry is just a little bit bigger. It has a few more objectives to do, and it's kind of the same thing. This is not the environment that gaming is about. Gaming is about unique experiences and consumption of culture that you can't get anywhere else. And that's why we take this pride of gaming so seriously, because it is so specific, and it shouldn't be blended into the PC market, because PC is its own force. We're approaching the point where it's pointless to have a console, because you could just buy a PC and you could just spend $200 every few years and buy a new card, or buy a new processor. It's a mess. E3 needs to be a time of clarity to say, here's our ecosystems, here is where not to freak out. Your Xbox One day one will still be able to do all the same things, but this is for X audience, and I still want to know what that is. Let me know what you guys think about this subject. I personally, very heated take on it. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube. If you dislike it, dislike. Leave a comment if you agree or disagree, and what you think we can do to improve this video, or maybe what you think about the subject in general. And please subscribe to the Geekery Collective if you enjoyed this, and share it with a friend. And again, thank you guys for watching.